I'm Roy Michaels, and you are listening to the Mystery Hour on 91.9 FM WMEB Orono, Maine. It is now 11:09. During our time as the spookiest late-night talk show here at the station, we have cultivated a ratio between goofs and gaffs to the profoundly disturbing. Tonight we will be leaning toward the latter for the first portion of this broadcast, as Connor delivers a chilling account of the tragic and truly horrifying true story of 16-year-old Annalise Michael.
In 1975, Annalise Michael was subjected to a grueling exorcism sanctioned by the Catholic Church, with a caveat that it remain a total secret. Michael had a history of mental illness. When she was 16, she experienced an epileptic seizure and was diagnosed with temporal lobe epilepsy. Her condition only got worse as she aged, and her parents saw an exorcism as the only option left. Over a period of 10 months, she endured 67 painful and violent exorcisms that lasted up to 4 hours each. Her two priests performed intense interrogations of 5 different extra personalities that apparently manifested within Michael: Judas, Hitler, Lucifer, Nero, and Cain. They recorded some of their interrogations for later investigation. Here's a sample, but caution, it is very disturbing. It really is heartbreaking. Had she received real medical treatment, she may have been able to live a happy, functional life. But instead, she was subjected to a cruel, outdated ritual. In the end, she died of malnutrition and dehydration, while the two priests were charged with manslaughter and only sentenced to 3 years of jail time. While we all know that the paranormal is out there, it's important to remember not to get carried away, especially when someone's life is on the line. Sometimes conventional science is the best option.
Well, it's not that early. 7 to 9 on Thursday mornings, tune into The Bud Show. R&B and soul from the 60s, music's greatest decade.
Tune in to The Bud Show, Thursday mornings at 7 a.m. on WMEB 91.9 FM, Orono, Maine. College radio in a class by itself.
Everyone knows that ghouls are dangerous, but what most people don't know is that ghouls dislike violence just as much as us. They just don't speak the same language. Luckily, there's the Teleghoul, the all-in-one ghoul repelling device for the everyman. The Teleghoul is a complex, state-of-the-art piece of machinery, but luckily its usage can be broken down into 3 easy steps. Step 1. Press the button with the red circle on it to record your message. Make it something short and sweet, like, "Hey ghouls, please go away," or "Ghouls, stay away from my family." Step 2. Press the button with the squiggly lines on it to translate your message into something that ghouls can understand. All translated, here's a message in ghoul language. Step 3. Pull the trigger to broadcast your message to any ghouls around you. Now you can live ghoul-free, comfortable, safe. You can go to the baseball game with your son, Timmy, or maybe go to the drive-in theater with your gal, or even host a backyard barbecue for the whole family. The sky's the limit with Teleghoul. And get this, it's only $29.99. Just call 1-800-GHOUL. And remember, get rid of your ghouls with Teleghoul. The Teleghoul has not been vetted by the Paranormal Gadgets of America, nor is it officially supported by WMEB.
Oh, welcome back. I am Roy Michaels, and you are listening to the first, only, and number 1 late night paranormal talk show right here on 91.9 FM, WMEB Orono, Maine. As always, I am broadcasting to you live from the basement of the Memorial Union, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, Connor, Joseph, Keith, and Rob. How's it going, guys?
Hello.
Hey, pretty good.
Tonight, on this 16th epoch of the Mystery Hour, we are exploring demons, both inner and outer. To begin, I thought we should break the ice with one of my favorite games, and that is Guess That Demon. Gentlemen, are you prepared?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Always ready.
Let's begin. Question 1. This female demon is believed to be responsible for miscarriages, stillbirths, and infant mortality. Perhaps this demon herself was infertile and committed her heinous acts out of jealousy. She is...
Is she a pure demon or a hybrid?
I can't give you that information.
Okay.
Sounds a little bit like that demon from The Grudge.
It's not the demon from The Grudge.
Do you know her name?
It's also, strangely
Sasha?
enough, not
it's
Bloody
Sasha,
Mary.
right? It's not Bloody Mary, okay. Well,
Is it the Loch Ness Monster?
It is not the Loch Ness Monster.
All right.
that's a theory, though.
It could be.
It could be. What about, let's get a little religious. Is it Abizu?
That is correct, Rob.
Wow.
Good job. That is 6 points for Robert Keane.
Oh man, 6 points.
There are 6 questions,
Sir.
and 6 of us. Question 2. This male demon, that is Male, is famous for making those who run stand still. He is also known for teaching many languages with a focus in profanity and ethnic slurs. He has 31 legions of demon at his command and is commonly portrayed as a pale elderly man riding a crocodile. He is 31 legions.
31 legions.
31 legions of demons.
And you said a pale man riding a crocodile?
Yep, he straddles it. It scampers around.
Crocodiles are actually really fast out of the water.
Yeah.
Do you know if he's always had 31 legions?
I think that was his personal best.
Okay, so he might not be there right now.
No.
Okay.
I think I might have interviewed a demon from one of his legions. Is it a Gary's?
It is a Gary's.
All right.
Great job. That is 6 points for Joseph.
Good job.
Demon law.
Oh no, I interview. I'm a paranormal journalist, as you know, and sometimes I interview lesser demons.
Oh, I thought you might have minored.
No, I didn't. I was thinking about going back for it, but you know,
Lesser demons, huh?
yeah.
Not exactly writing for the Times, are we? More of a Washington Post journalist.
Well, you know, with lesser demons, it's easier to interview them because there's less risk of them taking over your body.
Oh, sure. Well, good point.
Yeah, don't put down the Washington Post.
Question 3. The light of my life, the fire of my loins, my sin, my soul. Keith,
Is this your cat's son, Peanut?
that is not my cat's son, Peanut.
Oh.
Also, going up for adoption soon. Find the ad on Craigslist as craigslist.com/peanut. Get your own cat son.
You got the URL?
No.
Oh.
I think I've got it. It's craigslist.com/midnight mystery hour.
No.
No?
I think it might be facebook.com/midnight mystery hour.
Oh, that was it.
The go-to social media source for all things Mystery Hour, the first, only, and number one late night paranormal talk show right here on 91.9 FM WMEB or Domain. Give us a like.
So, on this Facebook page, what will they find?
They will find all the best content, updates, behind the scenes footage, cast and crew, stats of the cast and crew, how fast Rob can run a mile, Connor's height. There will also be links to paranormal stories, articles of interest, but most importantly is where we will be uploading all of our episodes in the future. Connor.
Yeah, and on top of that, if you want to buy Peanut, just go onto our Facebook page and submit me for Peanut.
Me for Peanut, yep. And on the comments section, we would love to just to get to know you. Just sit down and have a little chat.
Is
See
it
what kind
a
of skeletons?
succubus?
It is a succubus.
Whoa, out of left field.
But
Hold
which succubus?
on. Has she posted on our Facebook?
No,
Is it Arya?
it is Aria. My succubus girlfriend. We were going 2 months strong.
We know she hates Facebook.
I just shout out. Sorry, I left some dishes in the sink, baby. But I'll be home later. Love you.
She'll wait.
Question 4. A very unique female demon. She is said to pose tough questions and make conversations with laborers working in the fields during the hottest part of the summer. Any incorrect answer yields with a beheading, with either a scythe or a pair of shears. She would be... Keith?
Do I get my 6 points?
Oh, yeah.
Right on. I'm
Yeah.
on the board. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
Will he be beheaded if he gets this one wrong?
Well, I am not this demon, but if I were, and if Keith was in the field, picking potatoes, yeah, perhaps.
I'm not going to answer.
She's, in some cultures, sort of like a manifestation of heat stroke. Like, if a worker keeled over in the field in, like, some Slavic countries, they would say that they fell victim to this, demon.
Oh, stay hydrated out there this summer, guys.
Stay hydrated, yep.
Huh, so what makes men collapse in the fields? A lady, maybe.
Perhaps.
What? You're going to have to elaborate on that one, Champ.
Lady Midday?
That is correct. That is Lady Midday.
Have you,
Incredible. Also known as...
Yeah, is it only called Lady Midday in the midday?
Well, she only appears at noon.
At noon.
Okay.
There's this fantastic symphonic poem written about Lady Midday, in which some mother, she's sick and tired of her hooligan son, all of his mischief, and tells him, if you don't behave, I'm going to summon a noon witch to come after you, which would be Lady Midday. And of course, the son, he doesn't behave. They just came out with those ball and stick cups, and he was going absolutely crazy
Those
with
were
it.
so big
Yeah.
back then.
And so she summoned the demon, and to her and her son's horror, the Noon Witch actually showed up, and they both ran away. She picked up the son and was just sprinting across the field in the heat of the day and collapsed. The husband came home and discovered the mother holding the corpse of their child, while she fainted the weight of her body, suffocated her son.
Wow.
I also heard another.
Oh,
heard
just-
another story about a Noon Wraith, and it was a lady and her family were sheltering in a wizard's lair, but this wizard had been making the townsfolk very angry. So the wizard had been making the townfolk very angry, and one day they revolted against this woman and her family, and they didn't show her any mercy. But before they broke through the gates to get the wizard,
They broke through the gates to get the wizard?
Are you choking up?
no.
This is the one where they throw her down the well, they murder some poor pauper in the village, and then she comes back as a Noon Wraith?
No, this is the one where she drinks a poison that makes it seem like she's awake. Sorry.
It makes it's
It makes her seem.
also
she's-
known as any liquid ever.
Especially liquids with caffeine.
I feel like this doesn't actually have an established ending. Like this is the Fresh Prince of Blair Witch.
She
I feel like you forgot about it.
drank a potion, made her seem like she was dead, but she woke up and she couldn't move at all,
Oh,
and then
man.
rats ate her body.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have
Basically-
heard this one.
Yeah. Basically, the theory is that Noon Wraiths are also can be caused by like terrible things happening to someone in their living life.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's actually quite a common thread in demonic. We are having a discussion here, Robert. That's quite a common thread in that demonic content is usually caused by some sort of powerful emotional trigger event. I'm glad you brought that story up. Always good to think about someone being eaten alive by a swarm of rats.
I love rats.
I hate rats.
Before we get back to Guess That Demon, have you guys ever heard of a rat king?
I have, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, do you want to describe it for the audience?
It's a clump of rats all attached at the tail. Is that what it is?
Yep.
It's quite grotesque.
It's just this big swarm of rats. They're all bound together and they develop groupthink to move around as one single entity. Joseph?
Isn't that the antagonist in the Nutcracker play?
This isn't a Christmas show.
Yeah, wait till December, Joseph.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm
too
mad
am
myself.
curious.
I thought it was kind of funny.
Can we get someone to Google the Nutcracker and just call us in here at the station?
On it.
You can't do it.
It's 581-2333. Question 5. This subclass of demon is responsible for waking me up in the dead of night, covered in a cold sweat. They require the concentration of all of my willpower to be contained and are responsible for dissolving my last relationship. They are my...
Raccoon demons.
No.
I'm sorry, I had a question.
Yeah.
Your wording was a little unclear. Are you the one in the cold sweat, or is the demon the one in the cold sweat?
We both are.
Okay.
But the demon sort
What are
of...
you doing?
I'm having dreams. The demon... I'm covered in the cold sweat. I wake up.
So is
I'm
he.
sweaty. My heart's beating. I'm scared. I'm looking around the darkness for some answer that's not there. Get what I'm saying?
I understand.
I follow.
I think there is an answer here, though. In one of our heads.
Yeah, is it actually your inner demons?
It's correct. It's my inner demons. My
That's
inner
very deep.
demons.
Clever answer.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. 6 points for Keith.
Well, is he at 12 now?
Do you want
Yeah.
to talk about them, though?
My inner well, what part do you want to know about?
What's
The middle
What are you
part.
most afraid of?
Where do you sweat from?
I
Do you like?
was such a sweet boy, and she was a very pretty girl. And for a while we got along well together, just a happy couple. But eventually a darkness awoken inside of me, a thirst that could not be quenched.
Isn't that a song? Are those lyrics?
What is this?
Did you just black
I
out?
was a sweet boy, she was a pretty
The
girl.
Nutty Professor is leaving Netflix next month. Time to buy, time to buy, time to buy, time to buy. Question
Was
6.
that Avril Lavigne?
This demon is notorious for using a Ouija board to harm unsuspecting users, relying often on trickery.
Zozo.
That's right. Now that was question 6 too, so it's worth the same amount of points for practical reasons, but it's definitely a milestone.
That's interesting.
Question 7. This Hollywood actor received an Oscar nod last year for his role in The Martian. He came to fame by his role in Good Will Hunting, and despite packing on some pudge throughout the years, he has returned as the title character in the new James Bond, Jason Bourne movie, opening this weekend. He is...
Matt Damon.
I'm sorry?
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
No, Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Are you saying demon with an E?
Matt Damon.
Okay, what do you guys think over there?
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg isn't an option.
That's what you think?
They look the same.
I think it's
No, they
Demon.
don't.
I guess I'll give it to you, Connor.
Okay, 6 points.
6 points.
All right.
Question 8, second to
You don't deserve
last
that.
question. This demon was the primary antagonist in the horror film The Exorcist.
Pazuzu.
That is right. That was Pazuzu, the demons of the wind,
One of
the
my
bearer of storms and drought.
one of my favorite movies.
What's your favorite scene?
Ooh, I like when the face of Pazuzu flashes. It scares one of my best friends every
It
time.
is terrifying.
That is pathetic.
I know what.
That isn't
kind
even
of
scary.
Did you know
man child.
when production first began for The Exorcist, the set mysteriously caught on fire and every room in the house was damaged except for the room where the possession of Reagan took place?
Well, Pazuzu's got to protect himself.
Pazuzu's got to look after his film interests. What kind of agent do you think Pazuzu has?
Oh, I'm pretty sure he's his own agent.
I think he just has servants who are agents.
That's a good point. Well, that question goes to Joseph. 6 points for you. What are you at, 12?
I am at 12.
I think we're tied.
Cool. Well, this one will be the tiebreaker. Sorry, Connor and Keith. You don't have a chance to win. I don't have
I
a...
have 12 points.
I don't
You
have...
don't have a chance to
I
win.
have 18.
Wait, you have 12 points?
I have 12 points.
Wait, what?
It's not fate.
All right, I actually have 18. Does that change things?
You have 18. I've got 12.
Yeah.
I had 3 correct answers.
Question 9. This demon was once the recipient of child sacrifice by parents attempting to appease the nefarious deity.
Moloch.
That's Moloch.
Yeah.
Did Connor, you just
See,
snagged...
I win.
Wait, how many points
I had
did you have?
15,
Now we're tied.
You-
and that brings me to 21.
How did you get 15?
I got 15.
Increments of 6.
I think Connor just made a pact with the devil to get ahead.
Wait, did you say Moloch or Molag Ball?
Moloch.
Listen,
Moloch, okay.
Mike, I got 6, and then 6 points. Okay?
Yeah, you got 18. I got 21.
I don't know how you got... What questions did you answer? Let's resolve this quickly so we can move on to our discussion.
All right, I got question 4, 5, 9, and half of 8 right.
You didn't even talk during 8.
I did too talk.
You did too, Rob.
All right. Listen,
As soon as I could.
It doesn't. You know what?
it doesn't matter.
Tiebreaker?
Yeah,
Tiebreaker. Okay. Let me think.
I could flip this fast break.
We don't have food in here.
What?
That's not allowed.
That's not what it was.
Bafflement.
What? That was going to be my question. What was the alias that Pizzozo used in The Exorcist to...
The devil.
No.
Captain Howdy.
Captain Howdy is correct.
Oh.
And that's it. It has been written. Connor Spencer is officially this week's
Demon Master.
All right, it's now 11:35. You're listening to the first, only, and number one late night paranormal talk show right here on 91.9 FM WMEB Orono, Maine. I'm Roy Michaels, and now we're going to have a discussion about demons. Joseph, you are a paranormal journalist, are you not?
Yep.
In your travels, have you ever encountered a demonic haunting, or maybe even a possession?
Well, actually, in order to interview a demon, I have to let it possess me to a certain extent.
Oh, so sort of like a seance?
Not exactly. They do have to actually take partial control of my body.
Oh, okay. How do you
Generally-
get them out?
Well, generally what happens is I have a few priests there, and they, I don't know what the word for it is. They put some sort of, like a sort of protection ward on me, but right as the possession is happening.
What sort of equipment do they use? Do they use a lot of holy water?
They use holy water, crosses, obviously, and prayers.
Prayers?
Yep.
Can we talk about some symptoms of possession?
No.
What symptoms do you exhibit, Joseph?
Usually, it depends on each demon, but generally, enhanced strength. I'm sorry, Keith. What?
I was just making fun of Robbie without speaking.
Oh, I'm
sorry for
sorry.
interrupting you
I-
non-verbally.
I thought you were making
And
fun
failing.
No, he was touching it with his facial hair. It's
Lick my
gross.
glasses.
Let's get back to Joseph here.
This is all you, Joseph.
Joseph, have you ever had to perform an exorcism?
of me. No, I have not.
Have you seen an exorcism take place?
Yep.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So an exorcism is sort of it's a lot like, horrible medical regimen such as chemotherapy, in that it takes months of just this repeated arduous process to chip away at the demon and gain dominion over it. What stage in the exorcism did you witness?
It was very early in the beginning because the demon had a lot of power. The person
Really?
the person, we had to, as awful as it sounds, we had to tie them to a fence, and they almost broke the entire fence out of the ground.
Yeah, well, based on what I've seen in horror films, demons do not appear to have a glass ceiling on strength. Do you guys agree with that?
They bust through it all the time.
I don't know. It's hard to say because some demons are obviously stronger than others because there's obviously a demon hierarchy. But
Of
I don't
course.
think there's any limit to their strength, but I think some demons can't be as strong as other demons.
Yeah.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, it's exponentially, increasing to a point where they kill the host.
Yeah, it's interesting, Joseph. You said that the demon was most strong in the beginning of the exorcism because in sort of the Catholic school of thought, the demon becomes more powerful as the exorcism goes on. It doesn't want to give up its stakes in the mortal world, so to speak. This is true for both infestations and possession.
Is that a question?
That was deep, but I don't know
How
if
do you
that's a question.
how do you feel about that?
Cool.
I've got a real question for you, though.
Yeah.
Can a demonic entity possess a group?
Ooh, that's a good question. It's nothing I've ever come across, but I'm sure if it was a powerful enough demon, it could.
It'd be weird because we wouldn't even know. It could be happening right now.
Connor, I have one for you, actually. Annalise Michael. Go back to the first story. Do you think that this notion that a demon becomes more powerful during an exorcism is the reason why the priests and her family neglected the severe degradation of Annalise's health as the exorcism proceeded over time. Do you think that they thought that the demon was gaining more power over Annalise?
I think that's excuse me. I think that's probably a large part of it. Yeah, and also it was just their last hope, so they just didn't want to give up.
Yeah. But she was like 65 pounds.
Yeah,
Toward the end,
really emaciated.
Joseph?
I actually have a question. Do they get more powerful or more aggressive? I think that's a good distinction to make.
Well, I would say they do get more powerful to a degree based on what I know about demonic infestations, which are sort of demonic hauntings. The symptoms of the hauntings become more severe, like more drastic poltergeist activity, and it eventually escalates to a person being harmed. More often than not, actually, people are scratched by a sequence of three scratches on their body. It's just a demon thing.
Yeah. 3. Anything in 3s.
I think that is a
3s and
good
6s.
question. Oh, sorry, Robbie.
I was just saying 3s and 6s and 5ths.
Fifths?
Yeah.
Really?
Really?
The Devil's 5th.
The Devil's Fifth. Could you... What's that all
I
about?
don't have too much on it. It's just a musical note that was dreaded by listeners for a long time, called the Devil's Fifth, the fifth of a scale. And music avoided it in the classical days, because if you used it, you could get lynched.
Now,
Until-
would that be sort of like a witch hunt?
Yeah, if you used it, you would have been tarred and feathered, brought out of town,
Really?
burned as a witch, until rock and roll and blues.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, blues
Uh,
really started
The
it.
Devil's music,
Yeah.
for sure.
Exactly.
I do like those, the classic sort of Faustian legend of the blues musician who went to the crossroads and met the devil and sold his soul to further his career. It's good stuff.
Yeah, the movie based off that's pretty good.
There's a movie.
It's called Crossroads.
Oh, with Steve Vai?
It's awesome.
Is Steve Vai's in that one?
Yes, it's exactly.
Shredding the
story.
guitar, busting riffs.
It's great.
Yeah.
Watch it. Yeah.
Well, speaking of music, have you guys ever heard a Devil in the Dance Hall story?
Nope.
Well, let me tell you. A devil in the dance hall story refers to a type of urban legend that is quite common in the southwestern United States and Mexico. Traditionally, the legend is set in some sort of party, such as a fiesta, town dance, or disco, maybe even a nightclub. And it always involves a handsome, mysterious stranger who often entices young women with his jet black hair and eyes that glisten like onyx. Eventually, the diabolical identity of the stranger is revealed when onlookers at the party observe that the handsome man who has been charming everyone since the moment he stepped in the door has horse-like hooves or chicken feet sticking out of the bottom of his trousers. Because as you know, according to the lore, when the devil transforms into a human, the only part of his body that he can't change are his feet. It's just his nature. After the man is revealed to be a devil, demon, or witch, he usually does something insane which ruins the party for everyone, such as cackling maniacally, transforming into a flame tornado and shooting through the roof of the establishment, or in one version of the story, he forced a young lady to dance with him so rapidly and violently that they both spun across the dance floor until they smashed through a window. But the mysterious stranger with the devil feet motif isn't exclusive to just dance halls.
Hey, Mystery Hour crew, it's Johnny.
We had a brief misfire.
Was that John?
What's he doing in there?
We may have a
Clerical error. But the mysterious stranger with devil feet motif isn't just exclusive to dance halls.
In an old cabin, several men were playing poker by the light of a kerosene lantern. Money was lost and won. Liquor flowed. But everyone was in a good mood and there were no fights. There was a knock at the door, so one of the men answered it. The visitor was a tall, dark stranger who asked if he could come in for the night. The men welcomed him, and he started playing cards with them, but soon they noticed he was winning all their money. One of the men dropped a card on the floor and bent down to pick it up. As he did this, he glanced under the table and saw that the stranger's feet were cloven hooves. In a panic, he lunged up, knocking over the table and the kerosene lantern. The cabin caught fire and the men rushed out the door, all except for the stranger. Terrified, the men huddled under a tree until dawn. As the sun came up, they regained their courage and approached the cabin, and they discovered their silver money melted in the shape of an upside-down cross.
Now, Joseph, could you please confirm the presence or absence of horse-like hooves on the feet of Keith, Rob, and Connor?
I can do that. Yeah.
We're all
Would
good.
someone like to check my feet?
Yeah. Look.
I don't think we
I'm
have
a little
to.
scared.
We're all set.
What? We're gonna let him just slip by?
Well,
What if he's a hooves?
Who are you working for?
Listen. You don't have to check everyone's feet.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm trustworthy. You guys know I'm not handsome.
Your
You
feet are
guys
the
know
most
I'm not-
untrustworthy of all.
Hold him down. Hold him down.
You guys know I'm not, a charmer. Still look at my feet.
That's not true at all.
Let me see them toes.
all right.
What's your
Keith,
angle?
just take a peek at his toes.
He's not letting me.
Eyes up here, buddy.
Yeah. All right, I quit. I'm
What's-
not.
what's
I'm
your-
not touching his
All
feet.
right.
What's your
all
deal?
right.
He looks okay.
Well, actually, maybe it's best that we don't out the devil amongst us, because according to the legends, once you do, all hell breaks loose.
Devil's fifth.
But let's take a break from demons, because it's getting a little bit spooky in here. We got to check up on John, and he's been sending us a series of recordings. How's he been getting them to you, Connor?
He's been sending me them via Facebook chat.
Facebook chat, okay. He's a camp counselor at a summer camp, and last time we checked in with him, everything was going pretty well. It was a nice audio diary, but toward the end, there's sort of a catch in his voice, as if something was on the horizon. Let's check in with this latest clip from John at camp.
Hey, Mystery Hour crew, it's John again. I've completed another couple weeks here at camp. It's been pretty fun. We've done a lot of camping trips. We've played, just all the kids have been really cool. Yeah, everything's been super fun here. The only weird experience that I've had so far is I went to we have a costume shed out in the woods a little bit, so I went there to look for some props for a talent show or whatever. And as I was on my way there, I had this weird feeling I was being watched. So I went to the costume shed to open the door, but it was locked. So I turned around, head back to ask one of the directors if they had a key, and right there I just saw 3 campers just looking at me. And it was really, it was pretty unsettling to say the least. But I was like, hey, what are you guys doing here? And even more creepy, they just didn't say anything. They were just very silent. And then I was like, all right, well, you guys need to head back to your cabin to get ready for the talent show. And they didn't move. So I was like, all right, well, where's your counselor? And I looked around for him. And when I looked back, they were just walking away. It was super, super unsettling, but I just let it ride, I guess. I was like, well, that was weird. I guess they just wanted to get a little rise out of me. But yeah, other than that, everything's been pretty fun here. Yeah, I hope everything's going well over there at the Mystery Hour. on air. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next week.
Mom, put french fries in your ears.
I am not putting french fries in my ears. Why would I do that?
Cuz, like this. Just put them in your ear.
Okay, all right, like this?
Mom, put them in your nose and you'll look like a walrus.
Okay, all right. I am a walrus. Oh, silly.
Kids are special. Let's treat them that way.
Okay. Mom, now you have to say I like french fries without using the first letter in a low voice.
Wait, without the first letter? All right, so you say it with me, but you say it in a high voice, okay? 1, 2, 3.
At St. Baldrick's, we want kids to be kids. Not just when playing with their food, but when they need us most. When they need help fighting cancer. That's why the advanced research we fund is specifically designed to help children.
I like french fries. Okay, now do the opposite. 1, 2, 3.
I like french fries.
Support St. Baldrick's and childhood cancer research today by going to stbaldricks.org and get involved.
Hello and welcome back to the Mystery Hour. I'm Roy Michaels. It is now 11:50. Just before break, we heard from Mystery Hour colleague John McCullough and his situation that seems to be developing at camp. What do you guys think? I think the children might be under some sort of spell at the moment.
Excuse me. We have a caller.
A caller?
I'm sorry, everyone.
We
to
have
interrupt,
a caller?
We've never had a caller before.
Is it the devil?
I'm picking it up.
Do we answer
it? Glenn from Denton, Texas. You're on the line. How are you?
Hello, this is Glenn from Denton, Texas.
Yeah.
Doing good. How are you guys doing?
Glenn!
I love you, Glenn.
Yeah. We're doing pretty good over here. Is it pretty hot down there?
Oh, let me tell you, it's a scorcher.
I bet. So I hear you've got a story for us.
Well, I got a story. I was up in your parts, up in Southwest Harbor, Maine, visiting my father. Me and my girlfriend, we were out on the porch up there. I'm sure you're all familiar with Southwest Harbor. A lot of your listeners familiar.
Oh, I know it.
Sparsely populated area. We were on the porch facing the woods out there, chit-chatting away, not doing any drugs or alcohol.
Of course.
And we hear this adolescent young man singing scales in the woods.
Now, what do you mean by scales?
Well, if I could demonstrate for you, given we're just sitting there minding our own business, we hear la 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 at varying octaves.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
And the thing was, it didn't strike us as spooky at first. At first, we just thought there was some lad out there in the woods singing scales.
As lads tend to do.
Of course.
Well, it started to strike us as odd that someone would be out there at 11 p.m. singing to himself. So I call back at him, and I sing the scales back to him. And then it comes to a stop. We don't hear nothing out of there. And then I feel kind of bad. I think I might have hurt the young man's feelings.
Yeah.
And as we sit there, all of a sudden, just a couple feet away from us, right at the edge of the woods, we hear it louder than before. La, 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 la.
Oof.
And then it strikes us so immediately that we both jump back for the door. And then we look at each other, we think, what are we doing? This is crazy. Why are we so scared of this little boy here?
You got a fight or flight response thing going on there.
It was a sort of a flight or flight response situation. Yes, you're right. And so we go inside, a little shaken up, as you can understand. And I say to my dad, is there a house on the other side of those trees over there? My father says, you better shut up, because I think you're just messing with me. And I said, no, we heard a voice out there. He said, Glenn, on the other side of those trees is 10 miles of woods.
Oh,
ain't nothing out there.
Ain't nothing out there.
Ain't nothing.
I mean, it's tough when you're a witness and people, they don't believe if they don't see with their own eyes.
He thought I was just pulling on his leg.
Sir, this is incredible.
But I just want to call in, share my spooky story that I had up in the great north up there.
Yeah, we're really glad to hear it.
Absolutely.
And you're our first caller. How's that feel?
Well, that is an honor. I do love listening to you boys.
Yeah, we're going to send you a pamphlet with an extra chance to get Roy Michaels' cat Peanut. How about that?
Oh my goodness, that's just too much, too kind of you.
Oh, yeah. We're kind here at the Mystery Hour.
Oh, well, I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Well, you call again now, huh?
Oh, I will be. I'll be calling back.
All right.
Y'all have a good night, you hear?
You have a good night down there. Keep cool.
See ya.
Have a good night, Glenn.
Oh, I will.
That was really something.
Yeah, what a call. What a story.
Sweet man.
So what do you guys think it was?
No, as we all know, it's theorized that the woods is the devil's domain.
Absolutely.
It could have been a demon luring a human, much like a moose call.
Luring?
Humans.
And that is very common. Demons are devious creatures, and they often do try to entice people who are a little bit too curious into their domain.
Curiosity killed the cat.
Joseph, I know you do a lot of... I'm sorry, would you like to finish that statement?
I already finished it.
Well, I know you do a lot of paranormal investigating, and I just want you to know that you got to be careful when you're playing with fire because you'll get your fingers burnt.
Actually, that's a good point. I've been possessed by minor demons so many times. I actually do get heartburn a lot, and that's
well, yeah,
one of
that's
those negative effects.
Rule 1: don't go alone. Rule 2: bring Tums.
This man has some very strange body functions. Like, he has all the ones that we have, but then he has more.
Yeah, my insides have been warped by, the creatures of
rage.
Yeah.
Oh.
For example, if I could.
Of course.
I lived with this human being for 1 year. We lived in the same house, and he lived in the room on the second floor. And at 3 a.m. every single night, every single night, I'm a night owl. Every single night I would hear stomping around in his room, even when, just every night. How do you explain that, Joseph?
Sometimes you gotta stomp.
No, I've asked you about it so many times, and every time just deflects.
Listen.
You also had a ghost shrine in your room? So.
It was a ghoul shrine.
I thought it was a goblin shrine.
Don't we all have ghoul shrines?
Goblins,
he just has some
ghosts.
stuff in his room, okay?
Listen, get your head above the table. Stop trying to look at my feet.
We stopped forever ago. Yes. This isn't about you.
Get the microphone up on the table.
All right.
Anyway, Joseph.
Yeah.
Cautionary tale.
Yeah.
I know you know better than this, but maybe our listeners do not. And I heard this story about a woman who was taking some EMF readings, getting some EVPs, and she was even using a Ouija board to investigate the paranormal, maybe get some footage. And she came in contact with what she was told was an angel, and she felt very benign in its presence, very, very warm, very at peace. And she let this angel in to her home, but eventually she started suffering from your classic demonic infestation symptoms, and it turned out that she was tricked by a demon, and that what she thought was in fact an angel was in fact a demon. She let it into her own home, and she gave the demon stake in the mortal realm, and the demon wanted to keep its territory and did not keep it up. Things got violent, and she had to have an exorcism take place at her house. So just stay safe out there.
Yeah, that is just foolish. People need to not touch that stuff unless you're a professional or get in contact with a professional.
That's why the Ouija board is such a common trope, because you meet the spirit on the other end of this piece of mystical cardboard, and you let it into your home, and you have a conversation with it, and that's sort of how stuff goes right. It's how Zozo takes hold of people. I'm having actually a hard time talking about Ouija boards because, let me tell you, I'm so disappointed with my Ouija board. What about you guys?
Yeah, it's pretty lame, honestly.
It's pretty lame.
I can see why they gave it away and said, "Do not return this to me."
All of my life I've heard the craziest Ouija board stories, you know. Because I've had full-grown rational adults telling me that the Ouija board was a ley line, the Satan. If I did it, ghosts would be everywhere. It sounded so cool. You know, I heard stories of people messing with Ouija boards, and shortly after they got in a car crash. The music on their radios suddenly started coming in backwards, people getting scratched, mysterious fires started. It sounded phenomenal. And I got this Ouija board for the show, and I thought we'd get some good material out of it. I even put it underneath my bed, hoping I'd hear the little planchette moving when I'm trying to go to sleep on its own, but nothing has happened.
So here's the thing. I had this idea the other day.
Okay.
So why on ghost shows, like, do people try and capture ghosts with, like, all this equipment that's out in the open? Like, ghosts can see that. They don't want to scare people who are filming them clearly. That's why it's all fake. So, like, why don't those ghost shows use hidden cameras?
That's a good point. Like Undercover Boss.
Yeah.
But it's a ghost show.
Exactly.
It's a great idea. They do use a lot of electronic equipment though, and I feel like in the Joseph.
Oh, you can go ahead. I just had something to say after about the Ouija board.
Well, in the realm of the theoretical realm of ghost hunting, electromagnetic forces are used a lot as an investigation tool. You have like the EMF readers that pick up on different electromagnetic frequencies, the EVP, which captures ghost voices on tape, and it seems like that's the way they communicate with ghosts, like not a piece of cardboard. It makes more sense that a ghost would communicate with us through a piece of technology, maybe a computer, a cell phone, a television like you saw in Poltergeist, or even the radio like you're listening to right now. Connor?
Yeah, I tend to agree. My parents always told me not to keep a Ouija board in the house, and I'm starting to think that it wasn't because it was evil. It's just because it was a boring waste of space.
And it's a waste of money. I mean, $6.66 you can just spend on food.
I'm starting to think that... Yes, Joseph?
I was just going to say, Roy, whatever entity might have be paired with your Ouija board, it could be playing the long con.
Ooh.
Yeah. So,
I did not think about that. There actually was there's one incident where I had my Ouija board on my desk, and I also had a bunch of school papers on my desk. I went downstairs and I made some food. When I came back up, all of the papers from my desk were gone, but they were neatly stacked on my computer chair. But that's the only thing I've seen so far. Joseph?
Now, think about this. If demons like to, they claim the territory in the real world to stay there and get stronger, is it smarter to, thrash things around and be violent? Or is it smarter to just kind of lay low and gather your strength?
I mean, it depends. It depends on... Because demons... Like, an important distinction between your traditional ghost hunting and a demonic infestation is that the demon is intelligent and it can strategize. And, for example, if I were planning to have a priest come on over to my humble abode and get rid of this demon, it may become more violent in an attempt to scare me out of the house. I mean, maybe I don't think it's worth it to... keep paying rent at this place, ruined with a demon. Maybe it's just better to get up and leave rather than bring over Father Callahan to throw holy water all over the place.
Exactly. So maybe it's staying dormant so you won't have that priest come over. You know what I mean?
Could be, yeah. Never underestimate a demon.
They're very cunning.
Yeah.
They are intelligent.
Yeah,
I'm starting to think... Yeah, Connor?
For the first time.
I was just going to say, I think it depends on the kind of people the demon is after, because some people might be more scared by, just throwing stuff around right from the get-go, or it might be more effective for some people to, slowly build up the fear. So,
yeah,
it varies a lot.
In most of the stories I hear, too, the demons terrorize their family that is sort of innocent, rather than the people who may have caused the demon to come into space in the first place. Maybe they conducted some serious demonic activities such as seances, satanic worship, maybe even a few murders or crimes occurred there, like what we saw in the Amityville horror case.
I I had an idea,
Yeah.
and it's not related to demons. Would it be okay to like interject it?
Yeah, I mean, we're
Take-
closing the show soon, but let's hear it. Rapid fire.
Okay, here it is. So, first there's space, and you guys know how in space there's no friction. So when you put an object into motion, it's not going to stop. Well, anyways, here's the idea. To create an engine based on that principle. So you put an
You create an object based on this principle. You put an object in space and it goes in motion, like the Voyager,
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
It doesn't stop unless it's acted upon.
like Sputnik.
You just can't hold in the laughter. It's such a great idea. He knows.
He's
I think
just
it's
a
gonna
laugh.
change
He
the
sees
world.
the dollar bills raining
Yeah.
down.
No, what's funny is how powerful I'll become with this idea.
I can see it. You've got a star in one eye and a money sign in the other.
No, Rob. Have you ever watched Carl Sagan's Cosmos?
Yes. I haven't.
I hate you so
Well,
much.
in one episode, the great Sagan, hail Sagan, he puts forth several theorized spacecraft that NASA has come up with to travel into deep space, and one is a perpetual motion machine that would use motion to generate energy that would sort of drive the, I don't know the technical terms here, the flame chamber to thrust it out of our universe into, hopefully we're taking the fight to the Reptile Nebula.
Reptile Nebula.
You guys always laugh when I bring up reptiles. Did you watch the DNC? Do you know how obvious it is?
Yeah, I think they should
I'm
do
just
that.
saying,
Like,
whoever
Hillary's a
controls
reptile?
the water controls the world.
Yeah.
Infowars.com.
Roy Michaels, stop it.
Off the grid.
We talked about this.
I just
Okay, so yeah, that's the basic principle, by the way.
I mean, I like it. As far as rockets go, I think we should save most of that for our Star Trek episode.
Yeah.
But
Well,
Yeah.
all you'd have to do is harness that motion somehow.
What about ghost energy?
Magnetic, maybe.
Let me put forth an idea.
Yeah.
So we have this ritual room where we do all kinds of zany rituals, get a bunch of spirits in there, maybe no sacrifices, maybe we'll eat meat, I don't know. And we do all kinds of crazy stuff, and the ghosts come, and we use that energy. This actually sounds a lot like ghost slavery. Is that ethical? Is it ethical?
Yes, it is.
Have we discussed? I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
What is ghost morality about? Do they care?
Do we care?
I don't know. Have you seen the movie Beetlejuice? Because there's a great film that examines ghost morality.
Yeah.
These hipsters from New York move into this idyllic New England cottage that's haunted by the previous owners, and upon discovering that their house is haunted, they plan to exploit it and make some sort of zany tourist attraction to get a bunch of money. Is that ethical? Is that an exploitation of labor?
I think if the ghosts weren't okay with it, they would probably just go elsewhere.
I think it's fine because ghosts have all the time in the world.
Yeah, that's.
or
is
or
it
outside.
fun though?
Yeah, like
You
what?
just gotta give
You're
them
not
something
wasting.
to do.
All the time in the world
You're not wasting their
could be
time.
a curse.
I mean, what if you're stopping them from crossing over? You're
What
holding
if-
them here for your rocket drive.
Yeah, but what if we're not? Who's to say?
I just had a lead come in on my phone for a future paranormal investigation. At a friend's house of mine, this very creepy house that sits on the back, like it sits sort of like on the tree line of a forest in Old Town. And we can go there. I can go there. We can find some ghosts, but only if we do a quick shout out. Do you think it's worth it?
Yeah,
I
definitely.
don't want to sell out, but yeah, let's go for it.
All right. Well, if that's the case, Maddie is my best friend.
Maddie is my best friend.
You don't have to say.
Maddie is my best friend.
Maddie is my best
Maddie,
friend.
may you lactate upon the
Maddie.
froth.
Even a reptile can be milked.
I think it was serpent. But
Oh, close enough.
it's pretty good.
All right.
Anyway.
Now we're
They're
talking
different.
about ghosts and houses. What do you think in your mind? What is the distinction between a classic ghost haunting and a demonic infestation? And that's the term that the
giant bat
Catholic
wings.
Church
Yeah.
uses. Giant bat wings.
Yep.
Footprints.
That bat wings seems more like an ecological problem.
Nope.
Well, not really an ecological problem.
What about
Build bat
footprints?
boxes. Let bats sleep in your house. Support your local bat.
Let's say you get home tonight and your roommate is standing in the living room with a 12-foot wingspan of bat wings. Are you thinking bats or are you thinking demons?
I'm thinking vampires.
Come on, man.
I'm also thinking
Everything's
that doesn't
obvious.
give him an advantage at all when you're inside.
Well, how does he
does.
stand? Is he upside down? Is his feet curled around the rafters? Is he hanging upside down and sleeping, drool
Maybe above
going
the
into
door
his
frame.
eyeballs?
Yeah.
No.
What?
What are we even talking about?
Demonic.
This
okay.
conversation really got away from
What?
space.
No, he started.
Didn't start anything.
What is the distinction between a demonic infestation and your classic ghost haunted? Rob.
You know, Mike, I gotta say, it's footprints.
It is footprints could be it requires a lot of energy to leave a trace in this plane of existence.
And you always hear the pressure of like some heavy thing above you or below you.
Yeah.
right
What
around
about
you.
the smell of sulfur?
Yeah, of course.
the
It goes without
tinge?
saying.
The tinge
Classic
of
giveaway.
the tinge of burnt electricity.
I feel like
Yeah.
demons are a lot more powerful in this realm as well.
Absolutely. Like the Catholic Church believes that ghosts may be people lost in purgatory, whereas a demon is something that just came here on its own free will. Well, invited here to wreak havoc on humanity. And I think that certainly comes with more power. I mean, you got the classic scratches, like people getting scratched in the 3 pattern we discussed earlier. Sometimes you have blood coming out of the walls. You have doors slamming, people getting hurt, people getting shoved.
Hallucinations.
Hallucinations. Yeah, well, the second stage of a demonic problem is oppression, and that's when it's focused on a particular person. And this would be true in have you seen The Conjurers 2?
The Conjurers.
The Conjurers.
Is this your movie?
Like 2 Conjurers?
Do you mean Cars too?
Have you seen Cars 2? It's not bad. The Conjuring 2.
Wait.
The Enfield case. Enfield. Are you familiar with that at all?
No.
It was just one girl. Like, the daughter in the family was targeted. She became sort of the vessel for all of the demonic activity in the house.
What do you mean it was just one girl?
Well, there was a family, and it was the daughter that was sort of the target of the evil force within the home.
Oh.
And that would be your oppression stage of a demonic problem. After that, it would be possession.
Yeah, yeah.
And there is recorded audio of she did an interview, and much like the Annalise Michael clip we heard earlier in the show, she had that deep, like, throaty voice that just seems sort of like impossible for a child that age to have. Yeah, Rob?
Speaking of hooves, another sign of depression and also of demonic possession.
Yeah.
It's like hooves, like hoof bruises all over your body, like you were kicked by a mule.
Yeah.
That has a lot to do with it.
And you do need to really look at the hoof, because it is possible that you could be assaulted by the ghost of some sort of animal, such as a horse or a donkey. Maybe in a barn.
Yeah, it's something you wake up
Forlorn
with.
barn.
Usually.
Yeah.
That's how you know. Unless in your sleep it happened.
Yeah.
You know.
Have any of you experienced a sort of incident that you believe to be demonic in origin? Yeah, Rob?
Oh, yeah. When I was 5 years old, I was sleeping on the floor of my house when a spider crawled over my face really slowly.
Ooh.
I woke up to it.
And why do you believe that was demonic?
I mean, it left hoof marks, did
I
it not?
freaked out.
A spider with hooves?
Yeah.
Freaked out. I don't like spiders,
Yeah.
especially on my face.
I have one. I've told this story before about when I saw a black hand as a child in my bathroom, and black is sort of associated with evil spirits. And we had this picture that a neighbor took as a plane was going down. This is a true story. I'm not
I know it. I know it is.
Oh, okay.
I'm not doubting you.
So as a plane was going down, someone looked out the window and the clouds looked like Jesus. And they took a picture, and this picture got to my mom from my neighbor, and she had it blown up and put on the fridge. Right, so you have this... Oh, I should say that it was took on a plane that they thought was about to crash, but it landed safely and everyone was fine.
You guys blew up the picture.
Yeah,
It exploded.
Do you think that's appropriate?
So...
I mean, they were fun.
Back before we had, Photoshop, we would go to the Rite Aid and have a picture resized so that it can be put in a bigger frame to take up more space on our walls. Walls are these things that hold up the roof of a house. They start on the floor. Sometimes they have openings. Window or door.
You went to Rite Aid.
Yeah, we went to Rite Aid.
I
We
went
got
to
this
Ames.
picture, but we put it on the fridge, right? So we had this just crazy picture. Now that I think about it, this could easily be a picture that would be circulated in a chain email these days or on a Facebook post.
Do you have the picture still?
No, because let me tell you what happened to it. One morning we woke up and we went downstairs and the picture had been slashed. And that sort of struck a chord with me because I always felt a certain uneasiness in my kitchen. Sort of something was there that didn't belong. And I did hear rumors from sort of other kids in the neighborhood, but they were just, kids. They could be saying stuff, but 2 apartments down from me, I guess someone committed suicide with a shotgun. And that could have been the origin of the paranormal activity that was experienced in the complex by not just me and my mom, but the other families who lived there.
Is that what you personally believe?
I don't know what I personally believe.
You still haven't made up your mind.
I haven't. The story's weird to me because when I saw the hand, I thought it was looking back on it, thinking about it, I always thought it was a dream until I mentioned it to my mom, and she was like, "Oh yeah, that definitely happened. You were terrified." Well, I didn't mention it to my mom. She mentioned it to me, which was a lot more spooky. I really don't know what to think.
Should
Could be
you
a
reach
ghost.
out from the drain or behind?
There's
the
a
sink?
curtain, and it was this black, almost looked like a hairy hand that just kind of did this very creepy motion. Looks like this.
Oh, I wasn't picturing
Cinnamon
that.
rolls.
For those that can't see, he's kind of wiggling his fingers about.
Very,
Not flirtatious.
very devilly.
Yeah, definitely. Like he has hooves on
Toward
the
you,
ends of
not
his
toward
fingers.
himself.
All right, well, we are coming to the end of the show, and there's a lot to talk about with demons, but there's one more question I want to ask you guys before you guys put forth your last questions or closing statements. It's around here somewhere. All right, so back to Pazuzu. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So at the beginning of The Exorcist, we see the statue of Pazuzu being unearthed at a dig site in northern Iraq. And historically speaking, this makes sense because Pazuzu was prevalent in early Mesopotamian religion. And it got me thinking, perhaps the demons described and battled by the Catholic Church are just one interpretation of a singular ancient evil that has been felt by members of many cultures and religions for centuries. What do you think about that?
That's like an essay response.
Yeah, sounds good.
Jeez. I tried to wrap my head around the first two.
Sleep on it. I want Times New Roman, MLA format. Get it on my desk by next episode.
I'm doing Comic Sans.
Single spaced? Are
Double
you kidding me?
spaced or you say
Comic
single
Sans
spaced?
is the devil's font. Can we just agree?
Comic Sans.
I'm doing Comic Sans with Joseph.
Comic Sans.
Comic Sans.
Helvetica.
All right. Well, closing statements.
We don't always look at people's feet. Don't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's rude. Some people are self-conscious about their feet.
You should be aware of your situation and your surroundings, but you probably shouldn't stare at people's feet.
Yeah, don't.
Here's the thing: you can use your ears to determine that. Like if you hear a hoof.
Yeah, if you hear some clippity
Walking
clops,
around.
just then you can look. But then don't look at my feet.
There's no friction in space.
and
I hate you so
we
much.
can utilize
That's
that.
my final statement is how much I hate you.
All right. I'm getting a message from Beyond. It says next week's lottery numbers are 8, 5, 9, 2, 1, 3.
Yeah. All right. Well, it is now 12:20. I'm Roy Michaels, and this hour of mystery has come to a close. If you like what you heard, you can find us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Midnight Mystery Hour. Join us. I'd like to thank Jimmy Ozok for composing several original tracks used here on the Mystery Hour. And I would like to thank the wonderful people at WMEB for giving us the opportunity to do this show and helping us grow along the way. And up next, we'll be passing the torch to Robo DJ. He's a form of artificial intelligence, but he's not bad. In fact, he was designed to serve man in his desire to party. But before we give the torch over to Robo DJ, Joseph here has procured a selection we're going to leave you with, and that is Am I a Demon by Danzig. So anyway, I'm Roy Michaels, joined by
Connor.
Joseph.
Are we all saying our names?
It's Connor, Joseph, Keith, and Robbie.
Our panel, well, what was formerly known as our panel of experts, now henceforth known as the panel. We have Connor.
Goodbye.
All right, I'm Roy Michaels. It's 12:21. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you next week. Just a moment.
More difficulties.
Error.
Filling dead air.
Help.
When you talk about evil, evil pushes back.
Yes.
And it inhibits the process.
Is Robo DJ being a slow guy?
You know,
yeah, he's doing a thumbs up.
So,
all right.
We can talk about stuff.
What
guess we
kind
can
of
talk
other
about
demons
stuff.
do we want to talk about? Do we have to still talk about demons?
oh man, well,
I'd rather talk about.
if you had to
We're
have
not
a
talking about
tribute
space.
of a demon, what would you pick for a demon attribute?
Are my wings toggleable?
A demon attribute? Or-
Yeah.
Okay.
You can have their strength, their wings, their weird legs and feet.
I like the story that we told. I like the idea of a cunning demon, a handsome cunning demon, the kind that you'll sell your soul to.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I want to be as charming as a demon.
That would be nice.
Like a devil in the dance hall.
Yeah,
Exactly. Maybe minus the hooves.
and minus like the evil, where like if I don't want the music to stop, I force the person to play the piano until their fingers bleed. Don't want to do that.
Yeah, or eat cake until they explode.
Mm-hmm. You want to give this
that's
outro one more shot?
Yeah, let's
Thumbs
do
up.
And I'm Roy Michaels. I'm joined by Connor, Rob, Keith, and Joseph. It's 12:22. You've just listened to the Mystery Hour 91.9 FM WMEB Orono, Maine. Big thanks to Glenn, our first caller. We will see you next week.